Moving abroad sounds glamorous, right?
I don't know.
Big adventures, cozy houses in the Swedish countrysides, sunsets, Swedish fika, but in reality, total chaos, endless paperwork and packing every single thing you own. And the small stuff, like opening a bank account, can seem like climbing Everest. Welcome to episode 3 of our 10-part series about our journey moving abroad. Every Wednesday and Friday this December, we're sharing everything. You think you're prepared, you think it'll be quick, but then, surprise, summer holidays. Missing documents, paperwork that has to be translated from Dutch to English, and everything suddenly turns into a stress test for your patience. In this episode, we're going to share one of the biggest hurdles we faced in Sweden, opening a bank account. And honestly, that was an adventure in itself. Let us know if you have any more questions and we will answer them in the comment section below or in the upcoming episodes. Before we begin, this is simply our experience. Your situation might be completely different depending on your documents, your situation, the timing, you name it. So take this as our story, not a universal guide. So, getting a Swedish bank account sounds simple, right? You just walk in, fill in a form, and you're done. Wrong. Honestly, that was harder than we ever imagined. It was summer, so everything moves slower, holidays everywhere, office is closed, you get the idea. In the end, we were on the road driving towards Sweden, and then the call came. The bank account was approved and relief washed over us immediately. Because if it hadn't gone through, everything had to be delayed. Hotels, temporary houses, you name it. Because we also had to be out of our apartment in the Netherlands at a specific time. And Pixel, our cat, was in the Netherlands with Nathan's parents. So whilst we were celebrating the win, we were also missing our little fluff ball. I kept thinking, I hope she's not plotting revenge for leaving her behind. Let's start at the beginning. Straight after signing the papers at the realtor's office, we headed to the bank. Our realtor was amazing and gave us some recommendations. And let me just say, the stress level was high. But in the end, everything turned out okay. We do only have experience with this one bank, so we're not naming names. But online, we have read horror stories of people that had it way worse than us. Looking back, it's funny how much we stressed about this tiny piece of paper. But you can imagine at the time, it felt like the most important thing in the world. Here's where it gets tricky. We had agreed on a date that we would be getting the keys, only 3 months later. And in hindsight, that timeline might have been way too ambitious. Because everything, and I mean everything, hinged on getting that bank account sorted in time. It felt like walking a tightrope over a canyon. One wobble, one misstep, and the whole plan could come crashing down. In the meantime, we went back to the Netherlands to handle all the things you can't forget when moving abroad. Packing, selling stuff, arranging Pixel's travels, family visits, and yes, even a last minute haircut because first impressions matter, right?
Clean?
Clean enough.
It's going on Marketplace.
Yes. It's still full of stuff, but we'll get to that when it's sold.
Where are the bikes?
They're stolen! No. We sold them. Then came a curveball. The bank said they didn't have all the documents they needed, and we also had to get some things officially translated. Weeks went by, emails back and forth. It was very frustrating, but eventually we got it all sorted. Every day felt like a mini cliffhanger. Will it be ready? Will we make the date? And here's the truth. We started imagining all the worst case scenarios possible. Months in a temporary hotel, a stressed out pixel, living out of boxes, and it all felt very overwhelming. Enjoying the video? Go like and subscribe. And if you want even more behind the scenes updates, wallpapers and a spot in our end card, go check out our Patreon, it is linked below. Fast forward 2 weeks before we get the keys to the house. We decided to go ahead and rent a van, hire a storage place and move half our stuff early. Driving a big van for the first time? Let's just say that was its very own adventure. There might have been some tears and definitely a lot of laughs. And then, a week before we would get the keys, we got the call. The bank account could finally be opened, but only in person. Luckily, we were already on the way to Sweden. If we hadn't been, everything would have been delayed. We showed up at the bank, signed the papers, and finally, relief. The stress, the endless paperwork, the weeks of uncertainty, all worth it. That moment, holding the approved bank documents in our hands, it felt like the first real step to our new life. And you know what? Looking back, I don't think we fully appreciate how much of a milestone that was. Sometimes the small victories are the ones that really change everything. But there's something we haven't mentioned yet. We actually couldn't open a Swedish bank account any earlier because you need a reason to get one. In our case, the reason was buying a house. Without that, the bank wouldn't have approved anything. And honestly, our situation was a bit simpler than other people's. We didn't have a mortgage in the Netherlands, we didn't have to sell a house, and we weren't taking out a Swedish mortgage either. We already had the money sitting in our Dutch bank account. Just move the funds from one account to another, right? Well, not exactly. We thought we would transfer the money to the sellers. Turns out the bank had to do it. So there we were, sitting at the table with the realtors and the sellers, and suddenly the realtor is on the phone with the bank trying to arrange everything. It felt like such a strange moment, all this stress and waiting, and it all came down to one phone call with everyone watching. So here's the lesson. Getting a Swedish bank account in summer is slow, complicated, and surprisingly stressful. Seriously, plan ahead, expect curveballs, and whatever you do, don't forget your pet. Honestly, it was chaotic, panic-inducing, but we did learn a lot along the way. And now we have stories to tell. Like, remember that time that the bank almost ruined our life? Have you ever had a move go completely off plan? Let us know in the comments, we would love to hear your stories. Misery loves company, right? Next time, for episode 4, we're diving into moving with a pet. Specifically, our cat Pixel. From planning her travel, keeping her calm during the long drive, to making sure she feels at home in a completely new country. It was an adventure in itself. There's chaos, a few laughs, and definitely a lot of learning along the way, but that is what moving abroad is all about. Let us know if you have any more questions and we will answer them in upcoming episodes or in the comment section. Thank you for watching and we will see you on Friday.